Hello, it's Musa once again. You know the list. You know I'm in love with one Tithe, so I'm not going to say much more. Let's go and see one more 4-1 league using Mana Tithe. And this was a Tron Killer league, I would say. That's the intro I would like to have. So let's get started. So here we are. We're starting first. We always like to start first. The first one did nothing. So I'm going to keep a much more explosive hand. You should know by now that Kieran is my girl. I don't know what I am facing. I see blue. I'm okay because I have a cauldron. Whenever I see blue at this point, I'm always afraid of a mid-range deck. And here is the push. So we're right. But I'm fine. I'm very good because I have the cauldron. Let's not forget that. I don't have the cauldron anymore. Still, I will keep on trying to progress my game. And try to empty the hand. So first I'm casting the Master to take the counter spell. So afterwards I can cast the Nature's Rhythm to get my Devoted Druid and try to finish the first game as fast as possible the next turn. The longer the game goes against grindy decks, your chances of losing are very high. So that's exactly what I'm going to try to do right now. They have only 3 mana. I'll try to go all in and see how it goes. And they let me do it. So if the Nature's Rhythm resolves from the graveyard, this is game over. And we'll go to game number 2. Let's see. It is over. You know the drill. I'm going to speed it up and let's go to sideboarding. Here the opponent tried to play Bowmaster to cheeky me with my Vizier. But come on, I'm better than that. I've played this match and game way too many times. So obviously, I'm going to pump in response to Bowmaster's ability, and then I'm going to finish them off. That's why we never yield online, because cheeky things can happen. And we like when we do cheeky things, but don't like when other people do cheeky things to us. So game number 2, the sideboard, I always put it here. Whenever, if you have any questions about the sideboarding, always feel free to ask me. This is not a very aggressive hand, but I never like to mulligan against the mid-range decks. Cavern of Souls is amazing in the matchup because they cannot counter anything anymore. A Cauldron is amazing too, obviously, because it gives redundancy. That we love redundancy. And a Formidable Speaker is a very nice tutor, but also very big. Not too big. It's not a Gargaroth, but it's a good body. And here is Mana Tithe. I don't know how useful it can be at this point. So I just try to land my Cauldron because it's the card I cannot protect. I cannot make it uncounterable. So I take the turn off to cast the Cauldron and we go on from there. And from now, even though it's a bit late because I do have 4 mana, I will try to play the Mana Tithe game. Not very successfully, but you can see it coming. You can see it. There you go. There you go. There's the Mana Tithe. Boom. Out of here. Yes, I'm always getting excited when I'm playing Mana Tithe. I cannot help it. Obviously here you're not going to block because if they have another Bowmaster, I did actually. Ah, yeah, I blocked because there's a Bowmasters in the graveyard. In their graveyard, here you go. So even if I tried to kill it with Cauldron, my Devoted Druid, I would be able to save it. On top of the deck, I do have Nature's Rhythm. I keep it on the top of the deck. I don't put it in the graveyard because I do have 2 cards in hand. And I don't know what's going to happen. But they didn't do much. So first I'm going to cast the Vizier, which they're going to counter. I don't care. Do I care? Maybe I should have catch. I couldn't cast the Azuri, but I did cast the Vizier. So they're still down to 2 cards. And let's be honest, at this point, I don't even need to combo them because I have the mana. I will cast an uncounterable Azuri. Everything is fine. Everything is fine for me. They have to chase me. I don't have to chase them. Well, all this is like that unless they cast a Damnation or a Toxic Deluge for whatever. I see the opponent spending lots of mana. And here we go for a mid-hook massacre for 3. So they made a small mistake. They didn't calculate that Agatha Soul Cauldron will put another counter on my formidable speaker. So speaker is alive. It has a devoted read underneath. And I'm going to cast my Azuri without any trouble. And here's a Psychic Frog. But here I have the upper hand. I won't lie, I don't feel like I won this matchup because of my skills. I do feel like the opponent could have played this matchup better, but they didn't give themselves any chance of winning. But I feel that I always have to make sure that I tell the truth. That's it for match number 1. We are 1-0 up. Let's go to match number 2. Match number 2, what do we have here? We have an almost perfect hand. We're missing just one tutor or a finisher, and I say it's Tron. I always like to play first against Tron. This wasn't the case this time, but it's okay. We're gonna make do with whatever we have. I draw all my fetches, all my lands, but unless they do something very big next turn, very big, also known as if they cast Ugin next turn, I'm gonna be fine. Here they cast the Devourer. Obviously, you're gonna sacrifice your Devoted Druid, as I say always, because you're playing Cauldrons. This is one of the main reasons the deck is it's playable. Lots of mana. We're still afraid only of one card. That's the card they're trying to get here. That's why the Cozy Lex command aim at targeting themselves. If we dodge the Ugin, it's over. 6, 7. Nope, we didn't dodge the Ugin. But I did cast both Devoted Druids in an attempt to protect one of them and actually win. And that's actually what happened. One of my Devoted Druids survived. And you know what's happening once more from there. We're going to Court of Calling for the Vizier. We're going to get Azuri, and that's it. And we're going to sideboarding. I will speed up the rest of the game. Here we are with the sideboard against Tron. This is a decentish hand. The thing is, since I have it in my hand, I have to talk about the card, don't I? I was testing Stonebrain at that point because there was lots of combo line. Stonebrain isn't that good against Tron anymore. After some sets have been released, and they do have Ugin's Labyrinth. And it's mostly Eldrazi Tron, so it's not about taking one of the Tron pieces as it used to be. For example, we're taking Uza's Tower, it's done. No, it's not like that anymore. Stonebrain, nowadays, for me at least, it aims either Kozilek's Command or an Ugin. You know, the new Ugin, not the old one. That's actually what I'm gonna try to do here. I decided to go for Kozilek's Command because I felt that they didn't have mana, and I'm trying to keep it like that. I'm trying to keep them off the good draws, let's say. They have 3 Microspawns and a Devourer. I'm okay with that. I know what to play around. Trinisphere is good, but it isn't as good against elves because what do elves do very well? They create mana. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get 3 mana and get going from there. And after a while, if you have a Priest of Titania and a Curion Ranger, you can create tons of mana and you're fine. Plus you have Chords and Nature's Rhythm, which bypass the Trinisphere effect. Disruptor Flute, which they cannot play, obviously. Oof here worked overtime. It was the MVP of this game. And once again, you know what's happening. We're gonna Code of Calling for 2 to get Vizier. I have the Azure in hand, and we're gonna finish the game. And that's it. Quick and easy. We're 2-0 up, flawless so far, and we're going to match number 3. I will speed up the rest of the game. Round number 3. And if you know me at all, you know that I'm gonna keep this hand. Just if I have no payoff, I shouldn't keep this hand, but I cannot resist it. I have 2 mana types in hand, and as I've said in the past, mana type is bad against Tron decks or Eldrazi decks. I'm still gonna do it. Sorry, I'm a sucker for it. Another turn, they're gonna try to Kozilek's Command. And guess what? Yes, I'm gonna enjoy this moment once more. Every time I'm casting a mana type, I'm actually smiling. 1, 2, Talisman. We're okay with that. And we're going to do the same, Priest of Titania. Guess what? Once more. Yeah, I'm going to lose my creature. I accept that. But no, you're not going to get a Devourer. Bye. Let's go. So now I cannot hold back anymore. I'm going to play my whole hand. And I'm going to use Lush Portico to try to fix my top deck in order to find the finisher. I have the mana. I need either a tutor or an Azuri or a Wool Master. The opponent is Kozilek's commanding themselves for 5, which for me it means they're trying to find something. Blast Zone, that was pretty devastating. But no, I'm not going to concede yet. Even though they have 3 cards in hand, there's still hope that we can win. And now hope goes bye-bye because of a noogie. I've had enough. I lost fair and square. Let's go to game number 2. Game number 2 against Tron, the second Tron in a row, Eldrazi Tron I'm facing. If you ever have any questions for the sideboarding, please don't hesitate to ask me in any of the ways that I have listed below the video. You can reach me anywhere and ask any questions you want about elves or anything else. I'm pretty good about elves though, I'm just telling you. 1, 2, 3. So here I'm trying to play as many cards as possible because I knew the opponent didn't have Tron next turn. And I do have a Code of Calling, so I'm trying to cast as many creatures as I can to abuse also the Convoke ability, let's say, of Code of Calling. I'm feeling pretty safe right now. Yeah, Chalice is very, very late. Chalice doesn't carry, at least the second Chalice was cast on the right number. Chalice on 2 is the number to cast against Devoted Elves. Elf Ball is Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2 is for Devoted Elves or anything that plays Devoted Druid. Just letting you know. And once more, we're going to combo the opponent. Is it the 3rd match in a row we're winning through a combo? I think so. But this is also why we play the deck, isn't it? The real reason behind it all. So let's go to game number 3. Game number 3, now we're playing second. It's never nice to play second against Tron. I'm always bringing out as an Agatha Soul Cauldron against Tron because I'm playing an Oof. Generally speaking, whenever I'm playing an Oof, I always remove 1 Cauldron. The only exception to that is Yawgmoth, because against Yawgmoth, a Cauldron is amazing as a card. That's the only case that I'm actually forgiving myself to play both Cauldrons and an Oof at the same time. There goes my Devoted Druid. Against some matchups, you should either think that either the opponents are reaching 7 mana on turn 3, or they're gonna dismember, kill, whooping whale my first creature. And this is something, for example, against Tron that you realize as soon as you see the first land they play. When I saw that they're playing Eldrazi Temple, my first thought was either I'm gonna get dismember or I'm gonna get Kozilek's Command. So in my head, I'm also trying to figure out a second strategy on how I'm gonna win. Little things. I hope they're helping some people that are still hardcore on the deck and they're still playing it. And here we're gonna see once more the power of a Cauldron and why we're sacrificing Devoted Druids. The Devoted Druid is in the graveyard. I mean, in this case, it got dismembered, it doesn't matter. But in other cases, you would sacrifice it. We're putting the Devoted Druid under the Cauldron, and we can combo right here, right now, finish the game, and go to match number 4. Match number 4, we're 3-0 up so far. That was a mediocre hand. It had, let's say it like differently. It didn't have neither a Devoted Druid or a Priest of Titania, which are the 2 best cards for me in order to choose to keep a hand. Or it didn't have a very explosive hand using the Heritage Druid, you know, the same Heritage Druid used to say that it's useless in the deck, that Heritage Druid. Anyway, let's go to the game. Once more we are facing Tron. That is the 3rd Tron in a row. So far, at this point, I am a master of against this deck, how to play. And to be honest, it always comes down to what they draw and what we draw. It's a race most of the times. And what hate pieces each one of us draws. Since they killed both my Cuban Ranger and my Prince of Titania, I had no reason to stay in the game. I'm going to save myself my time. I'm going to go to match number 2. Game number 2. Sideboarding is pretty much the same. I'm going to start here. This time we're playing first, which is a huge advantage. I really believe that the previous one we didn't win because we didn't start. It's not an ideal hand, but it has a Stone Brain, which to be honest doesn't really thrill me. Here I have a Devoted Druid. You didn't see it. It's hidden down there. Sorry, they're stacked a bit weird. There you go, the stack there, and I have to fix it. I'm going to attack. They're down to 5 cards. Thankfully, they use the other dismember very fast. 4 mana. Thought not seer. Obviously, they're gonna take the Vizier. Most people don't really don't know that I'm actually playing 2 nowadays, which has helped a lot with the consistency of the deck. Because we're not playing Finale of Devastation in order to bring back a Vizier from the graveyard if the Thought sees it out of our hands. Not in this case, because Thought not seer exiles it. I'm talking in general. I'm speaking in general. Pardon me. Playing 2 Viziers has actually helped the deck evolve a lot. I have an erode, but which I'm gonna keep on the top of my library because you never know what's gonna happen next turn. Because they have enough mana to cast anything they want. Worst case scenario, I can kill the Thought-Knot Seer, and I can draw 1 extra card. 7 mana, Devourer. They went for the Woomaster, obviously. I'm not blocking so far. We're still alive. Julian Ranger does what she's supposed to do. She's fixing the top of my library. That's why I keep saying, I said it in the second deck attack video. Lash Portico, I despise the card, but still I can't do anything without it. It helps me fix my top deck. There you go. That was the perfect draw at the perfect time. If it was any other card, it wouldn't be good. And this is also the reason we play God of Calling. It's an instant speed tutor. They thought not see me, they cannot take it out of my hand. And right now, on board, they are dead. We have 2 Devoted Druids and Azuri. This is death. This is the number 2 combo of the deck. Did I get lucky? Probably I did. But okay, we're not. It's both sides of the game. Both sides can get lucky or unlucky. So here I'm going to pump a lot. Once again, I don't heal because I was expecting another dismember, but I didn't know the target of it. And I'm gonna pardon me, and I'm gonna pump enough in order to make my show my Azuri survives. There you go. It's an 8/8, and we're okay. 4 mana, another Seer. They realize that they're dead on board as soon as I untap. And we're going to the next one. Game number 3 against Eldrazi Tron. No lands, it was bad. I decided to keep this hand, and I decided to keep Force of Vigor this time. Maybe it was the wrong choice. Right now I feel though it was a very good choice because I'm going to get both expedition maps. So now we're progressing the game. Whooping Whale on my Llanowar Elf. That wasn't very good. Still we're in a very good spot, but not anymore because they had a really good hand. They had Thought-Knot Seer and Whooping Whale, and they managed to get also lots of mana. And I keep on drawing lands. There's nothing I can do. I do keep all my tutors against Tron and Eldrazi Tron and all these variants because you need to finish the game fast. So right now I have in the deck my War Masters, I have my Azuris, and I do have the tutors, but I draw nothing. And pretty soon I understand that this game is over. It's okay. At least we won 2 out of the 3 games against Eldrazi Tron. Let's go to the last round. We're playing first. Playing first is always nice. And I see a priest, I see nature's rhythm, I see an Azuri. I'm happy. This is a keep. What more do we want from the deck? Plus, we do have his windswept heath in order to use it as a lush portico if needed. Right now, because I see this land, which could be that they can be playing Belcher, I actually opted for the Cavern of Souls in order to be sure. I still don't know what they're playing. I know it's not Belcher. Pardon me. I know it's not Belcher at this point because they have a polluted delta on the battlefield. So for number 2, they're playing a mid-range deck, a Dimir Midrange deck, or they're playing a Semi-Ritual. Which Semi-Ritual used to be an amazing matchup. I was always very happy to face it, but since they're trying to fight energy and affinity, they're running lots of sweepers in the form of Culling Ritual. It's also one of the reasons I added for Heroic Intervention in my sideboard, because we're not going to turn the good matchups into bad ones, are we? Especially we can fix them very easily. I see a counterspell, I see a Harbinger, I see Force of Negation. I think it's mid-range. It's a very weird mid-range so far. I shouldn't say this, but Harbinger is not a good choice against a deck that is designed to create mana. Just saying that out loud. Let's go to game number 2. So here we are, game number 2. I sideboard as if it's a Dimir Midrange. And sometimes, for example, to continue what I said about a Harbinger, I see them playing Harbinger against me, and they are running also Carling Rituals in the list. So this goes to the Simic guys, Simic ritual players. Okay, I will let the Harbinger land, and I'm going to be very happy because I know that you will never have black in order to cast a Carling Ritual and actually kill my board. These are basics for Magic. These are things people should know. So I'm feeling okay right now. I'm still progressing my game. I am trying not to overcommit to the board. I actually did overcommit to the board because I'm actually going in. This is a choice. Sometimes I'm playing afraid of the Midhurka massacre or the damnation or toxic deluge because I can't do anything, right? Especially against damnation, not even Azuri helps me. Only if I was running Guardian of Faith, I would be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna tutor here. This time I decided to be way more aggressive because I realized that in the previous times that I was playing against Dimir Midrange, I was very, very, very defensive, and I was losing because of that. So another good thing about having all those replays is I'm going through the leagues again, and I'm finding my mistakes and I'm trying to fix them. I wish I could do that also on paper. Anyway, that was for the league. A bit faster this time. I hope to keep it a little bit more interesting. But it was just a casual another 4-1 league with Monotide. If you reached the end of the video, thank you very much for watching. I'm always available to answer any questions. I love replying to everyone's comments. Do find me on Discord. Do find me any other means you would like. I have left all the necessary info in the description box of the video. And I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.